Hey everybody, welcome to GeekStorm.
What?
I'm Sean Hilton, owner of Comics Cube, founder of the
Can't you do
Kokomo
it
Con,
right
and some
once?
other cool things going on.
What is
Today I am joined by probably my oldest friend in the world.
I'm not that old.
That I've stayed in contact with. That's Michael Allen Harrison. Mike, how you been, buddy?
Just fantastic. Thank you for asking.
Everything going all right? How's the world of geekdom?
Oh, great. Just busy.
Are you gearing up for Dragon Con?
I am. That's just it. Busy in that, like, three kind of big things hit me at once. I've got Dragon Con coming up in a couple weeks.
Pretty exciting.
Okay, which for a person like me means, oh, I should start on costumes. And and then Avengers 4 hits video, whatever you call it, disc. Okay, so I've been wanting to look at that. And then World of Warcraft dropped their new expansion. So I'm torn. I got Avengers out of the way last night.
You gotta say that's not much of a thing.
I know, but it is when all three things hit at once. I mean, pow, the same time.
You could have been playing World of Warcraft while watching Avengers, while designing in your head your costume.
Yeah, but then I wanted to, and I watched it last night, and it's my third viewing. I saw it twice in the theater, and I hadn't seen it since in the theater, obviously. So it had been a while, so I was absorbing a lot. I wanted to pay attention to it, and I really want to watch it again. I'll give it a few weeks and watch it again, because it's got a good commentary with both the Russo brothers and Marcus and McFeely, the guys who wrote it. So that'll be a good commentary to listen to.
So is there like the big long director's cut that people have been talking about?
No.
No.
No, they included.
I'm sure there's some deleted scenes.
There are actually like some longer deleted scenes, like 4 minutes and 7 minutes, things like that. But nothing that they were good choices to leave out. They didn't really move much along. But it was good, and so yeah, and Warcraft had its new expansion come out, Battle for Azeroth. So that's 10 more levels, and I've barely even touched it.
What's the cap now? What is
your
level cap on?
The new cap is 120.
120.
Yeah, and they did what's called a stat squish, which means this is my level 1127 pen. Okay.
Okay.
It's
a pretty good pen.
Yeah. Well, because these numbers are getting out of hand, they squished it all. So now it's like 127 pen. All stats have been squished down again, so they're manageable again. So you can remember them again what they are. And it got 100. So that's always interesting. And so far the content's been pretty good. I'll say the difference I've noticed just in playing a few hours is that Warcraft recently in the last few years has gotten into the cinematic cutaway scenes quite a bit, and most of them, and especially the ones you see as commercials, are movie quality. I mean, they're solid. This time it seems like we're getting more cutaway scenes, but they're almost Disney-like. And I don't mean like Mickey Mouse Disney-like, but definitely like, let's say, a Mulan Disney-like. It's definitely more animated looking than the really high polish stuff that you see on TV.
The Warcraft movie that we had, where the orcs looked very human.
Yes, not like that at all.
And now this is more animated.
But there's more of them, so I guess it's a trade-off. You know, you get more, but the quality's not quite as good, or maybe just different. I don't know, but it's still a fun game to me.
Has there been any big news about Dragon Con? Now, Dragon Con is in Atlanta.
Yes.
And is a pop culture convention that goes comics, games, toys. But I think that the major aspect that I know you go for, and I think the majority of people go for, is this is the costumers cosplay convention.
It really is. There is a dealer hall, and I don't remember if I ever saw any comic books in there. But the thing about the costuming is it represents all these things you're talking about, whether it's TV or comics or movies or pop culture in general, Doctor Who, it doesn't matter. It's all represented there, even stuff I've never even heard of, video games certainly. That's neat in that aspect. But as far as like the dealer's room and things like that, it basically is a lot of the same stuff we see at all the conventions now, because none of them are comic shows, you know, like we've talked about before.
They're pop culture. They're
pop culture. It's craftables and that type of thing. A lot of just merchandise. But yeah, it's a great time. It's 4 days. We're gonna go. I'm leaving with the Carlsons on Tuesday night, late Tuesday night.
Love those guys.
Yeah, and we're gonna drive down, and then Casey's gonna fly down on Thursday. We kick off Thursday with Rumspringa. I don't know if Rumspringa. I don't know if you're familiar with it or not. We kick off Thursday night with that, and then I don't know what's happening the rest of the week. But
well, that'll be a good time.
It will be.
Awesome.
Thank you. For
All
that.
right. In the world of Marvel Comics, big thing going on right now is Infinity War.
Oh, another one?
Infinity War.
How many of these do we have to have?
It's, well,
it'll be Infinity. That's
Infinity. So it's not going to end. Big thing is it kicks off. They did an Infinity Countdown, which was like a 5-issue series.
Okay.
Then they came out with Infinity Prime, which was the one shot.
Prime.
And now the actual, finally, the book,
I gotta stick
Infinity
with Prime.
Wars, is getting going.
That's
Big
my
thing here
Mark Wahlberg
is it
imitation.
ends with Thanos being beheaded
Whoa.
by this hooded
Spoilers.
secret character here,
Spoilers.
who then is revealed
To be. Wait, let me just take a guess. Is it a previous character we know of?
Yes,
Okay. It is Nebula.
Gamora,
Ah, so close.
his favorite daughter.
So close.
And now he's dead, supposedly, but like haunting her. So she's still talking to him and things like that. So you got the big thing going on there, but that is
cool.
one of the big Marvel things going on right now.
You just had your big Gen Con,
We did. We had a great time. A lot of fun going on at Gen Con. Lots of. It seems to be that there's a golden age of board games now. Everybody's creating a board game or a card game or a dice game. Every year, Gen Con has announced new games. That's been going on for 51 years now.
Right.
But now, because of Kickstarter, because of easier access to component making, actual boards, chips, all things you would do. You know, you might have salvaged crap from old board games to make your own game at some point. Now you can like call factory in China, and they will show you like 5 different paper widths and sizes and qualities and different components and all the stuff you can make, you can think of, now can be produced almost in. Not quite are we at the point where it's a print on demand stage yet for hardcore board games, but it's getting closer. So a lot of things were announced and released, lots of stuff going on. A little bit of drama at Gen Con this year. Some guy got punched.
But not at the convention.
Absolutely not.
At a bar, you know, that night or whatever.
It was Wednesday night,
completely off
which
site.
is not even officially Gen Con, even though there are some events that happen.
Right.
One of the...
People get punched in Indianapolis all the time. Okay.
Yes, they do. This happened to be an exhibitor at Gen Con punching a Gen Con attendee.
Right.
But again, not at Gen Con, not during the show, not during any of the show hours, off-site, at a bar. The guy who did the punching, obviously in the wrong, not a good guy, broke the law, needs to pay, blah, blah, blah. The guy who got punched is like a hardcore right-wing conservative style gentleman, and he didn't ask to get punched.
Nope.
But for a guy that didn't ask to get punched, boy, has he got some new content.
Right.
Holy cow! The number of posts that he's been able to make, I'm sure that they've seen some jumping, and you know, just his numbers are going up. So hey, good. You know what? If you're going to get punched, even though you don't want to get punched, you know what? When what is it? When the sun's out, you make hay, or whatever it is. So, you know. So hey, sorry, I got punched, but.
How was your Gen Con personally?
I had a good time. We were out there running a lot of games. We run obviously a lot of games. It was a lot of fun, and we were promoting our new Kickstarter, Legacy of Darkness, which even when this goes on, will be live. We've made several stretch goals. We've been funded. We're getting near.
I gave a little money.
I appreciate it. Sure. Not only did you give us a little money, but then you didn't take it away.
What do you mean?
So what happens is, and I never knew this, is like we get to a number. Like last night.
Hang on a minute.
We got to a number, and the number was $7,000. And with that $7,000, we unlock a stretch goal, which means I personally now will write another little adventure for something that's indirectly related, like a spin-off-y kind of a thing that I'm pretty excited about. Only to wake up this morning and be told, hey, you know, by the rest of my creators, it's going, we did it.
Right.
And then 15 minutes later for me to check and go, no, it's disappeared, because people can retract their
I didn't
pledge.
know that. I didn't know that.
And so it's been a roller coaster of, we're here, and now we're not. And then we're here.
Do you think, and I
now
didn't
it's
watch
not.
the timing of it, I honestly, I donated because we're friends, and I don't really care about that stuff. So I haven't looked at any of the other emails or anything like that. But I did notice that you hit it, but also somebody gave a large amount early on.
Yes.
Okay, so do you think
I know
somebody giving that large amount had something to do with all the other pullouts? Like, oh, they made their nut right away. I don't need to give my money.
So that's actually not the way typically that the line works. Your graph. Obviously Kickstarter has been studied to death.
Sure.
One of our reasons for doing what we did when we did it, because we did it 1 week before Gen Con started, was we figured Gen Con was a good market, but before we went there, we wanted to be funded already.
Sure, makes sense.
The idea is people back a winner.
Right.
Once they see it's been backed, people are actually typically more motivated to give, because now it's not a maybe it goes, maybe it doesn't.
Somebody sees something I don't want to miss the boat.
Exactly.
Okay.
Now, I mean, our target number was $1,500.
Right.
Now we're bordering at $7,000.
Awesome.
So now it's a matter of, well, there's no doubt, and on top of that, not only is there no doubt they're going to have to do this, but the amount of stretch goals we've unlocked that people get, the content extra basically for free, is quite high. So Yeah, very excited. People have been, obviously, again, our goal was 1,500. We're going to get north of 7,000, it looks like, unless something horrible happens.
That's great.
So very excited about that.
That's a lot of success. Good job.
Yeah, we're very excited about
you and Mike.
Getting on board and creating more content for role-playing games and things of that nature. So
I am available for test play, for if you need any kind of characterization, if you need anything, I can do it all.
Alrighty.
I got headshots.
I was told today that you are too pretty to be a certain kind of thing in one of the games.
It's true.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Always pretty bad.
Okay. You know what? I'll take it. I'm confident. I'll take it.
So a lot's been going on. Just in case we didn't cover it, and I think we did. Steve Ditko passed away.
Yeah,
legendary creator, co-creator of Spider-Man with Stan Lee.
Sure.
He wrote or he drew the most iconic early issues. Created the look of Peter Parker and Spider-Man. Passed away a while ago. I think we brought it up, but it's been so sporadic lately with all the events we've been going on.
Yeah.
I want to make sure we cover it. You got a huge list. We're not going to get through them all, so let's get through them all and let's just go.
I'm gonna hit two or
Fire it
three.
away.
I'm gonna hit 2 or 3, and if there's something you want to talk about, you stop me. Okay. Number 1, Lock and Key is gonna be on Netflix. They got an order for 10 episodes.
So Lock and Key is Joe Hill's comic book that he did a while back. That's kind of a horror suspense book.
Is Joe Hill Stephen King's?
Joe Hill is Stephen King's
Okay, I couldn't remember if he was him or not.
And his name is King,
Right.
but basically he wanted to become a writer.
Right.
And he didn't want to do it on his dad's coattails.
Nice.
So he took the name Joe Hill. I believe his real name is like Joseph King.
Okay.
And now that he's outed, he still goes by Joe Hill for his writing, but he doesn't shy away from the fact that he's King's son.
Okay.
He's just not, grabbing out there. But Lock and Key was incredibly popular. I wouldn't say it made him, but it definitely in the comic book world gave him a brand new thing.
It had a long run too, right?
It did. It's had multiple series. It's been beloved. People really dig it.
Okay.
It's kind of got a Lovecraftian kind of a feel to it with some horror elements and suspense. But this has been talked about as different channels and other cable providers have bid on it.
Like even before
tried
Netflix really exploded with the original content, this was being talked about for AMC or somebody. I
Oh
think.
yeah. So this is one of those things where it's been greenlit somewhere for a long, long
Right.
time. So the fact that Netflix is now throwing their money behind it makes me think, all right, it's a done deal. This is really going to happen, and I am eager to check it out. Plus, as a store owner, I'm going to definitely be ordering more of the trades now, the collected editions, because when people see it, I think like The Walking Dead, it's going to explode.
Another thing, and there isn't a lot of news on this, we'll just hit it real quick though, is this the Jon Favreau Star Wars TV series that's going to go on their new
The Disney streaming?
The Disney streaming, whatever it's going to be called. They released the budget. It's $100 million for 10 episodes, which is on par with what Game of Thrones spends per episode. So $10 million an episode is a good chunk of change. They're going to throw
for a TV show, absolutely.
They're going to throw a ton of money at it and see what they can get. Also,
awesome.
Stephen Moffat is going to do The Time Traveler's Wife on HBO. HBO knows that. They've already greenlit another Game of Thrones series in that universe, although it's much earlier, 1,000 years earlier. They know that they have to have those Sunday powerhouses, okay? And so they're throwing this at the wall to see if it sticks.
Time Traveler's Now that
Which
was a movie already, right?
It was a movie.
Okay.
I want to say not Keanu Reeves. Eric Bana, maybe.
Something like that.
I think was it Time Traveler's Wife? Are you sure?
I don't think it was.
You check on that. You're wrong.
I disagree with him.
Eric Bana. DC's come out and said they're Supergirl the movie, a new Supergirl movie. That's going to be a tentpole for them. They are backing away a little bit from this particular shared universe that they've already started. I think they're going to pick and choose the pieces that they like and move forward with that. Now,
Eric Bana.
oh, did you say? Well,
Eric Bana.
so I'm right. Okay, cool. So then I don't know if we'll see Man of Steel 2 now. That was more than in the works. I don't know if it'll be a springboard for Supergirl, but the new guy that's in charge over there, Harada, I can't remember his name. He seems like he understands why they're failing, and he wants to change things. We'll see how that goes.
I don't know about that. That'll be interesting. I don't know that somebody was clamoring for a Supergirl movie. Out of all the different projects that DC has, Supergirl doesn't seem... Superman didn't do the kind of numbers I think they were hoping for.
Oh, no.
So I don't think that Supergirl...
But arguably their biggest success so far has been Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman, 1984.
Yeah, that'll be great. Yeah, I don't know if that's the official title or what, but
Yeah, I think I would have backed it Batgirl.
And Chris Pine is in it, so I wonder how they're going to do that.
Well, speaking of Chris Pine,
Is he a Yoda ghost?
Chris Pine and I bet he's like a great grandson.
That's silly.
Chris Pine and Chris Hemsworth have both said Star Trek. If the money's not on the table, we're not on the shots.
Right.
So both Kirks are both stepping away from this project for right now, which I can't see bodes well for the Star Trek movie franchise. But at this point, I don't know that fandom really cares about that franchise.
They didn't go in droves to the last one. It was obviously, to me, the worst of those 3 movies. And I definitely enjoyed the first 2 a lot. The last one was just for me. I didn't really care about it very much. It was good to see those characters, good to see the moments between the characters that you like. But as far as the movie itself, I didn't really care.
It just didn't move me.
I almost didn't remember
the whole franchise, really, honestly, I think in the grand scheme of things, 20, 30 years down the road is going to be an afterthought. I don't think anybody's... I don't believe this is anybody's beloved Star Trek. Even people whose first taste of Star Trek is these movies, I think they'll move off into other things and find other stuff. These just aren't tent poles that I think are going to survive the test of time.
Plus, these aren't TV characters. They're TV characters. They aren't... It's not a TV universe necessarily that people are as invested in as the older stuff. You know, the other movies, the Shatner movies and the Next Generation movies, they all had that lead in. And these guys are standalone, even though they're existing characters. They're in their own J.J. Abrams verse, so it's different for sure.
Now, Star Trek Discovery has announced a young Spock.
That's correct.
Will be joining stuff.
His name is Ethan Peck, grandson of Gregory Peck. Hasn't been in a lot. He's done a few CW things and here and there, but he certainly has the look. He almost has the unibrow in one of the pictures I saw, so hope they'll knock that out. But yeah, I'm excited for that. And Anson Mount really got the shaft in this Inhumans show that was out. He's an excellent actor. I watched him in what was the Hell on Wheels was an excellent AMC thing. You'd like it a lot.
Who did
actually.
Anson Mount play in Inhumans? Was he Black Bolt?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And it was a horrible show to begin with.
It was bad.
I didn't even finish it. I'm the biggest Marvel guy I know, and I didn't finish that show. I
think I got 3 episodes.
Okay, it was awful.
I couldn't watch that, and I couldn't watch the mutant-y thing.
I think that's the only Marvel product that's been put out, like since the MCU, TV or otherwise, that I've never finished.
Did you got all the way through that mutant thing?
Which one? What mutant thing?
Oh, what was it called? Follows like the Sentinels tracking down mutants.
On Fox, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
Yeah, I couldn't get through that.
Yeah,
I thought that was really bad.
It was what it was, but I watched it.
Cool.
So
yeah, lots of stuff.
Yeah, so him, he's going to be in that show. I'm looking forward to that. That's just an excellent show.
Star Trek just had their big Las Vegas convention where they brought in tons of people, a bunch of old people, some new people, and then of course I see on your sheet the big announcement was Patrick Stewart.
Oh yes, Patrick Stewart.
They're bringing out, Jonathan Frakes, and he's doing an interview with Marina Sirtis, and they've got, LeVar Burton, they've got Data, they've got just tons and tons of actors coming out, and they're all talking and doing the whole convention scene, except for this is the entire convention of Star Trek.
Right.
Then all of a sudden, Patrick Stewart walks out on stage and people just lose their minds. And he goes on and on about Picard and how he's done it for the last time, and that when he walked away in episode 176 and after the movies, he'd had enough. And by the way, that didn't have enough, and I'm back. Picard's back. It's real. This isn't, internet talk. I'm telling you here on the stage. We're doing it. Picard's back.
CBS All Access, another pay-per series, pay-per-view, whatever you want to call it. Network.
Streaming access
That's
channel.
where you do see Star Trek Discovery. They're going to do a new series, a second series, and they haven't released out of details, although you got to think it's some kind of Academy type of deal. If Patrick Stewart is going to be the masthead, he'll probably be in a not a huge action role in any way like he was before, but so
he wasn't in a huge action role.
That's what I mean. I said not like he was before. Yeah, this can go hard on the shoulder sometimes, Mike. You don't discount that. You engage. Oh, stuntman. So, yeah, exciting for the fans. Beloved character, beloved series. That's my Star Trek. Next Generation is my Star Trek, even though I'm a little older.
I am finishing up like the last 6 or 7 episodes of season 7.
Oh wow!
We started playing the role-playing game, and I've seen almost all the Trek, but I've never seen it in order, lined up, and I've seen it on TV with commercials and cuts and stuff. So, and then much of it is there's a little sparse. How much I haven't seen, but just knew about from people talking about it. So now I'm going through. Man, there's some hit and miss. Holy cow, there's some horrible, horrible crap.
Now I don't remember so much about the last couple seasons, but was it still super episodic?
Yes, there's never up until this very last thing. As I said, I'm about 6 or 7 from the last episode of season 7. There was never a story arc.
Right.
The most you ever got was there was a couple of 2-part episodes. Very few of those.
DS9 was super story arcy, super big baddie, and so was Voyager too. You definitely had some continuing themes throughout the whole season.
Enterprise had 4 seasons, and the first 2 were incredibly episodic, with just enough background to kind of keep stuff going.
Right.
And then the 3rd and 4th season became big overarching stories. So I think the modern audience wants an overarching story now. I think the days of truly episodic is probably left best for Murders of the Week shows, and there are plenty of those.
I just don't like the overarch in a 20-episode show though. Supernatural, any of these big shows, all the Arrowverse shows.
Because at least 7 of them feel like they're just fluff. At least 7. Yeah. BBC with their 8 to 10 episodes with an overarching storyline always feels a little tighter.
They always feel like they have the need to, okay, this is about werewolves this week, but we still need to name check 2 or 3 other things to keep you interested in, this big bad that we're still headed towards down the way. And I don't like that.
Harry's still out there somewhere. Right. We're going to have to deal with Harry at some point.
Well, we got to do the mission. That's my Dean.
That's kind of where it's at. So,
Sammy!
Excited about seeing a Picard-led something or other. That might be enough to get me to finally buy the channel as well. I haven't done it yet. I did see on YouTube this morning a preview of the DC Access channel with a guy, their sales guy, their VP, talking to a YouTuber about how it's going to work, showing them off the platform, what it looks like, how it's going to go. It was kind of funny because the guy's giving his spiel. And it's a good looking format. He goes out of his way to point out, like, whereas Netflix is all uniform, all the little boxes are the same.
Right.
Theirs are all different. So like one line is, the Netflix time Opagon. The next one is like a bigger thing. And so it breaks up over all the stuff to give it this different look, and how it'll animated to their original content to old movies to comics. But when the guy just asked a point-blank comic question, like, all right, it's on there, you're showing me, all this stuff, what's the most recent issue? Like, will I be able to read Batman 50, which at the time was the newest book, I'm sure, when he was doing it. And the guy starts to answer the question but never answers it. It's like, well, we're going to go all the way back to like Action Comics #1, of course, and then we'll go up from there. And he goes on and on and on, and the guy's like, yes, but will I be able to read Batman 50? So basically, if I buy your thing, what he was asking was, do I need to buy comics anymore? Right. And he's like, oh, well, we'll constantly be having some new content, and then the content you can buy will be added to your page, and this and that. So at no point does he actually directly answer the question of which books, what you're going to get, how long will it have to be? Like, do I have to wait a year? Right. Do I have to wait a month? Do I have to wait a couple weeks? Something like that. They've all been all over the place for how long it takes to actually get your material. But it looked cool. The actual flow of it looked like it was good. They said Apple, Android systems, and then, of course, a bunch of streaming, smart TVs. The one I saw actually showed Roku in one of the TVs, so I'm sure if you have Roku, you'll be able to get it.
Here's an interesting thing on that channel. They're doing a Doom Patrol show.
Eventually, yeah.
Well, they're casting it, and they cast a cyborg. And so it's going to be not Ray Fisher, and it's going to be Cyborg in Doom Patrol rather than
Robot Man,
rather than Titans.
Titans.
Even though they're doing a Titan show, so it's just kind of weird, a weird choice. I don't know.
That is a little odd.
Yeah, but they're doing a lot of shows. They've said, I don't know if it'll happen, but they're Doom Patrol, Swamp Thing. Titans, we've already seen the preview.
Well, they didn't tell you it was the Swamp Thing. They're just actually going to show the reruns from like the old Sci-Fi Channel.
Oh, if you can see Adrienne Barbeau,
no, just the TV series.
Oh shoot!
This is the Swamp.
Oh no,
my lad.
Oh no, who was that actress?
I don't even remember.
Oh my goodness.
Bad.
Oh my goodness.
But I can see that, so that's kind of funny.
Okay, one more on the DC side. Then we got from the
What do you got in DC?
the Arrowverse crossover that we're gonna have. You know, they've been doing that.
Sure.
Number one, Legends of Tomorrow is not gonna be involved in that crossover.
Ooh.
It's gonna be just the other shows.
Interesting.
But also, it'll be the introduction of Batwoman,
Okay.
and whose name is Kane.
Katie Kane.
Katie Kane.
Kathy Kane, something like that.
And they've cast that actress and throwing it out there that she'll get her own series. We'll see if she does or not. But it's Ruby Rose, a very popular actress. She was in John Wick 2.
So John Wick 2, she's in the new Meg.
Oh yeah, did you go
She
see
was
that?
I did.
How was it?
If you like, if you want
like
to
the
see,
shark.
if you want to see Jason Statham beating up on Jaws,
Did he kick a shark? Did he kick it?
He does not kick it,
I'm not going.
but he does other stuff.
Okay, good.
It's pretty good. But if you like an action adventure with your Jaws, then that's what you're gonna get. I enjoyed it. It was fun.
Is Statham? Is he like a karate guy? What's his deal? He just came out and started kicking things and punching things.
Yeah, I think he's just a fightery dude.
Karate.
I don't know if he's actually got any actual martial art. He's just he knows how to use his body. It looks
so?
like, and
Yeah.
so he looks good. Meg, very hardcore though, hit the Chinese audience. You could tell that they were doing the whole thing to make sure that their Asian market was going to be covered.
Okay.
Half the cast is
Asian.
definitely Asian. It takes place in China, Shanghai. This whole thing.
Okay.
Lots and lots of tie-ins, so it should play big over in Asia.
Every movie doesn't have to take place in California. That's for
And
sure.
that's fine,
Yeah.
but this is one of those things where you're starting to see it in a way that it's very obviously it's an economic thing. It has nothing to do necessarily with the story. Worked in this story, and it was a fun little thing.
The only
What
thing
I
I've
really
seen-
like about Ruby Rose, though, is unlike other CW people, and you know, there's no way to say it without being offensive, I
They're
suppose.
pretty.
A lot of times it's pretty people who
Sure.
happen to act. With Ruby Rose, I believe we're actually getting an actress.
We
that's
would
got
never we would
really-
never get the call from CW.
No.
Okay.
No.
Not even the
funny
computer,
sidekick.
not even the computer guy that's on the
No,
headphone.
not
We
gonna-
wouldn't get
Not
that
gonna
either.
be that guy. Maybe the monster covered under a lot of makeup that gets killed.
Sorry, go ahead.
But she's like she's got talent. She's an actual actress, I think, that's got chops. And I think she's going to bring something. She's got the right look for what they're going with. I'm really, really happy with this cast.
I understand she's pretty short. I don't know if that matters or not, but that means they'll have to adjust how they do other things because you don't always want your lead to be the shortest person in the room. That's what happened to Tom Cruise all the time. If you don't know, Tom Cruise is walking on platforms.
He's like 5'6" or something.
Yeah, he's shorter than me. All the time in movies where they'll put something for him to walk around on while other actors are on the floor. That's the most dumbest nitpicky thing in the world. I think she'll probably
she's gonna be great.
She was great in Orange is the New Black. She was in a season of
She
that.
must have been after like season 3 or 4 because I
know.
don't remember her, and I only got to like season 3.
Yeah.
So
So she'll be great.
Looking forward to that.
And she's already been bullied off of Twitter. So that's of course a thing. That's of course a thing.
always got to be somebody upset. If somebody's not mad, then you're not succeeding.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Where you at, Mike? 3 minutes. It's always 3 minutes. Well, it's like a sixth sense. Okay, so I don't remember if we ended up talking in time or if we were off about the Marvel Fox thing happened. So
Yes.
that's a done deal. Dot some I's, cross some T's, but it's a done deal. The first rumor I heard was they are stopping all production on Dark Phoenix and New Mutants,
Yes.
and that they are going to just can them.
I don't know if there's much to stop on New Mutants, but
Well, they was going through heavy reshoots.
Sure.
And I guess now I just heard yesterday, I think that reshoots are moving forward. It's
massive reshoots.
Yeah,
now.
and it's not known whether or not it's going to be going to be released, and this is the final. This is the end of the X-Men universe, and this is that type of thing, or if it'll be something they want to finish it because they are contractual to. Maybe they'll put it down the road. Maybe it'll go straight to DVD or DVD. Jeez, maybe it'll go straight to video. Who knows?
It could go straight to their streaming channel.
It could.
That would be something they could do.
It could. This could be the only place where you'll see the end of the saga. That type of thing.
It's over if you want to see it. That's
Yeah.
where you got to come to see
That's
it.
very possible.
So that could be interesting.
I think they definitely need whatever they do. They definitely need a fresh start.
It needs to be rebooted.
Yeah.
And I don't know that the fans are going to fight it. They already did the soft reboot back when they did the whole 60s version. They brought in all new characters and recast a bunch of stuff.
Yeah. When we first started talking about it, I was thinking, oh, it'd be cool. Okay, Infinity War is just about over. We could start moving toward like a Secret War type of thing to bring in Fantastic Four, bring in some characters, and then you keep who you want. You know, they're not all winners on that X side, so you keep Fassbender, maybe you keep McAvoy if you can, and I don't know if there's any others that are very popular, and then everybody else happens to get killed in Secret Wars, and
You kill Mystique. She's done a horrible.
But I think just recasting is probably the best idea.
Yeah, I think at this point you got to start over, and they got to start over with no attachments to the past. They've got to be able to break all that. You know what? You're not going to get Hugh Jackman.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if they could have got him back in the day, that would have been perfect. But the thing to remember about Hugh Jackman and Wolverine was he was a happy accident to begin with.
Sure.
That wasn't even his role. It was somebody else's.
Right.
And he happened to back into it.
Doug Ray Scott.
So, poor Doug. So, but yeah, I think it's one of those things you got to go in an all new direction. They've got to just revamp the whole thing. Now the only problem is now they've got to fight some things. Like, do you go with Magneto? I hope not. I think Magneto is probably their greatest villain, but the fact is that character has been done to death in these movies. It's almost silly at this point. It's like we've only got one bad guy.
Well,
and
it's
always going to be him.
He's been done to death because he's super popular,
Well,
and I don't know if that's Fassbender or Magneto, but fans like that character. So, do you feed the fans or do you starve the fans? It's a tough call.
I think on this one, if it was me, I'm like, we're not giving him Magneto in movie one. Come up with something. Somebody come up with something, and then we'll tease him, almost like the Dark Knight did with the Joker. You know, we want him to come back. We know what they want, but we're not going to give them dessert first. They're going to have to get through a meal. So that's what I would do with that. Good stuff.
We got through almost the whole list.
Woohoo! I don't even know. What is this thing?
Oh, Spideyverse. They're talking now. I'm not excited about Venom at all, but they're talking about. Okay, so the Sony Marvel deal only has is 4 pictures, and we've already seen 2 of those pictures. So you've got Far From Home as the 3rd, and I don't know what the 4th will be. Avengers 4. So that's about to be over.
So it takes Spidey back off the board again for Marvel.
Unless they continue the.
Unless Sony's allergic to money.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Because this Venom,
it's going to be bad.
Oh.
Now I will say this: the Venom trailer is like the second or third highest viewed trailer of all time.
People love
like
a train wreck.
And Venom has tons and tons of fans, just like Deadpool, not known by John Q. Public, but still has tons and tons of ravenous fans. So I think I'm gonna say right now it'll make $80 million on its opening weekend. I probably won't go.
I'm gonna hold off on that because I just could do anything. I want to see what's opening against, and
I think it'll do Deadpool 2 numbers on its opening weekend.
I don't think it will. In fact, I will go out now and say no, it won't.
Anyway, they're throwing out more. You know, they're laying claim to. We have 900 characters to play with and we're calling it Sony's universe of Marvel characters. That's what they're calling. That's what Sony is calling it. Sony's universe of Marvel characters.
That's not a mouthful.
Yeah, it's a little clunky. So the Silver and Black movie that they talked about for a while, they've decided to split that into 2 movies. So they're gonna have a Black Cat movie and a Silver Sable movie. I'm positive a lot of this is throw it against the social media wall and see how the fans react. There was some other. Was it some other Ditko property that or Ditko character that was going to possibly get Kraven the Hunter was going to they're talking about his own standalone movie, that type of thing. So it seems like they're okay. Take a look at it this way: these are our characters. We're going to build a universe, so we do take all these secondary characters and do that. But are they going to include Spider-Man? Is he even going to be in Venom? He doesn't have the spider on his chest. Venom doesn't. I don't know. It's tough.
Yeah, I know.
It's a tough road to hoe.
I'm just not interested. Sony can't seem to do anything right, so I'm not going to worry about it at this point. They're pretty much dead to me with this thing. I'll watch the second Spider-Man movie. I'll look forward to it because Marvel's involved and they'll do it right. But once he reverts back, like if the 3rd Spider-Man movie with Tom Holland doesn't have Marvel's involvement, I'm sure I'll go see it. But unless they just figure out the formula for Marvel and copy it, I don't want to see that stink fest. Yeah. Just bad crap. So everybody, that's GeekStorm. I'm Sean Hilton. Mike Harrison. Behind the camera is Mike Dukes, our producer, where we thank you all for watching, even if you are a captive audience. Be groovy.